Honorable Deputy Speaker, Sir, thank you for giving me this opportunity to participate in the discussion on the Scheduled Caste Amendment Bill. I appreciate the introduction of the Scheduled Caste Amendment Bill for passing in Lok Sabha. It was a very long pending demand from the communities which are very backward and require the support of the government for their development. After independence, state governments have recommended many committees for inclusion in the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes list, whether it is right or not. Due to political compulsions and vote bank compulsions, many states are recommending so many committees for inclusion in the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes list. This is very unfortunate. As I said, there is no enhancement in the reservation percentage and still there is no change. But so many state governments are recommending so many communities to be included in the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes list. So the reservation percentage is not increased, but the number of communities are increased from time to time. What happens is that many states have compulsions. They want to committees vote. So the state government is compelled to recommend the names of certain communities to be included in the list. Therefore, I would like to request the Honorable Minister to ensure one thing. Whenever the recommendation comes from the state government, the central government has to thoroughly check the recommendations. Of course, we have the National Commission for the Scheduled Caste as also the Registrar General of India. These officers are sitting in Delhi. How can they know which are the real communities that belong to the scheduled caste? The state government is recommending the names because of politics, because of vote bank. The state government is doing it in its own interest. So, after the state government recommended the scheduled caste commission as also the Registrar General of India also ratified it. After that, the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment has brought forward this bill before this House. Sir, the percentage of reservation is not increased. So, the government should seriously take note of that aspect because many communities are included from time to time in that list, but the percentage is not increased. The population of the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe communities has also increased, but the reservation percentage is not increased. Even now, that percentage is there. There is no change, no enhancement. I would like the Honorable Minister to clarify my doubts. When the government is including some of the caste in the list of scheduled caste, I would like to know whether they are going to enhance the reservation ratio. In most of the states, when they are including the caste and they are already having some statutory privileges as per their population in other communities, immediately there will be a problem in the variation of ratio. I want to point out another thing. Already the scheduled caste community is having a specific percentage of 13 or 14 or 15 in those states, but by including these communities the percentage is not going to increase, so it is another problem. By including or excluding the communities from the list, nothing will happen. Successive governments are not taking any care. On the basis of population, they have to increase the budget. In the recent budget, we have seen sufficient budget was not allocated to the SC, ST communities for their overall development. I have one more question on which I wish to get clarification. Is there any proposal to increase the percentage of reservation of scheduled caste by inclusion of these communities? I feel that there may be proportionate reduction of reservation in the original reservation and increase in the percentage reservation may acute the general principle of limiting reservation percentage up to 50. In most of the states, they stick on to maintain only 50% reservation. But as per the Supreme Court verdict, that is after dicta, which is a word used by the Supreme Court in the case of implementation of reservation, that in some cases the state can, on the basis of the social status of some caste, exceed the limit above 50% reservation. Otherwise, there is no meaning in the including the communities in the existing list. As I said earlier, many communities came to be included in the list through backdoor. The eligible communities only can be included, but many of the ineligible communities came through the backdoor entry. What is the criterion for inclusion of a community in the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes list? It is untouchability, economic backwardness and social backwardness. There are the criteria for a community to be included in the SC ST list. There is no criterion which is followed. The state government is recommending and the central government is accepting it.